I upload daily NBA content on this channel, so if that's something that interests you, then subscribe. Also drop a like on this video. It only takes 1 second and it makes a massive difference. Also, real quick, I have 3 different things to promote. First of all, there are 2 new episodes of my podcast over on the podcast channel. We have added Rudy, the editor of this video, onto the podcast as a 3rd co-host, and that's just added a brand new life to the podcast, and we're going to be posting there consistently. It's going to be on other audio platforms soon, but as of right now, it's only on YouTube, so go subscribe to that podcast channel and watch those 2 podcasts. And also, episode, I think it's 17 of my NBA series, going over the start of the 3rd season in the series, is out now, so go check out all of that stuff if you have not already. But today, I am addressing something that is basically just a giant meme surrounding me. See, on April 18th, 2018, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I was going to say I made the biggest mistake of my YouTube career, but no, this just qualifies as the biggest mistake of my life, period. I tweeted, as you can tell by the thumbnail, and as you likely already know, imagine thinking that Trae Young and Luka Doncic are legitimate top 5 prospects. And then in the replies to that tweet, I actually went on to say that I thought like Marvin Bagley and Jaren Jackson Jr., Mo Bamba, I even said Kevin Knox would be better than those 2. And yeah, that was not true at all, not even close. I also said DeAndre Ayton, which I guess was fair enough to believe at the time, but legitimately just so many poorly aged opinions in the replies to that tweet, and just the tweet in itself is a poorly aged opinion. It's more poorly aged than kids who were named Adolf in the 40s. Like, it's just a very unfortunate tweet, and the thing is, it would be bad enough in itself from people within my own subscriber base seeing this tweet and making fun of me for it. But while I left it up because I didn't want to hide from it, then a bunch of NBA Instagram pages started posting it, like a bunch of them, and they were getting like 5-digit likes, like tens of thousands of fucking likes. I think one got even like 40,000 likes, and then Fade Away World made a fucking article about it. So the first article that's ever been written about me doing YouTube for almost 5 years now was about how I'm a fucking idiot. So that's cool. That's definitely great. Here's the thing about why I felt this way. I was completely fucking ignorant. Yep. You hear me say now all the time that I'm not a draft guy, that I'm not going to give hard opinions on the draft. I basically say that I have my own opinions of other people's opinions based on what draft people that I know say about these prospects. I get my rough idea of what they are and then picture that in my head on whatever team they are going to be on. Like, I hear that LaMelo Ball is this elite playmaker, and I see the Charlotte Hornets have a good amount of options that are great for him to set up, and I like that fit. I see a guy like Patrick Williams, and I learn that he is a power forward, and I'm like, well, shit. That means Larry Markkanen's probably gone. And then I realize more about him, and I go, I'm actually okay with that. I know roughly what pretty much every prospect can do, and I'll have my opinion on that based on kind of the archetype that they fall into, but I'm not really likely going to share that opinion because I don't think it's fully developed enough to be valid. And if I do share it, I'm going to make sure that you know that I don't think it's fully developed enough to be valid. And that's kind of how I operate. I feel like I have to have a certain amount of information in order to make a take, because previously, when I made a strong take with not enough information, we saw how I put my own foot in my mouth. So that's now something that I'm trying to avoid with draft prospects, because I just don't watch college basketball. I don't find it as entertaining as NBA basketball, and I don't care enough to put in those hours of watch time to feel like I have a valid opinion. On top of that, generally speaking, even for the games in college that I have watched, there's been times where I'm like, I don't really think I can tell how this really translates to the NBA, because there was a guy who played at Alabama a couple of years ago. Could have researched his name to find the example, but I didn't. He played before Colin Sexton was there, and he led Alabama to the college basketball playoff for the first time in like forever. And I think Avery Johnson is the coach of that team, something like that. And he looked amazing to me. I've watched a couple of those games because I'm an Alabama college football fan. So I was like, I'll watch these. And by the way, I'm from Alabama. I'm not a bandwagon. Shut the fuck up. And then I watched those college games, and I was like, this guy seems awesome. And I went to look at mock drafts, and he wasn't even going in the second round. And then he winded up on the Sacramento Kings Summer League team, and I watched him play there, and he played like shit. So it's like this guy that I'm watching dominate at the college level doesn't do shit at the Summer League level. So even that kind of stuff, I can't really tell what translates to the NBA perfectly. Really, the only stuff draft related that I do is I pick one prospect every year to make a video on, and I do a lot of research into them. And even then, I'm really not fully confident about how they're going to translate to the NBA, simply because it's not a thing that even people that are good at the draft can confidently really do. For that reason, I only really put enough time in for one prospect each year. I did Landry Shamet 2 years ago. I did Desmond Bane this year, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, I really just don't have strong takes because I don't do enough research to have strong takes in that department. I do enough research in the NBA department to have plenty of strong takes, but not in the college department. So for that reason, I've had this philosophy of I'm really just not going to talk about college guys that much anymore. I'm going to say what the rough idea of them is, and that's about it. I think when I did my winners losers of the draft video, I didn't even really declare anybody a loser. I said they could be because I just didn't have a strong opinion. So that's why I don't talk about draft guys anymore, because that take was horrible. And I should have never said it, not because I did the research and came to that conclusion, which was a stupid conclusion. I didn't even do the research to come to said stupid conclusion. So that was just a stupid fucking thing that I did. Now, I don't understand if you looked at that tweet and then decided, this guy's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I would say that that's semi-true. I didn't know what I was talking about back when I said that. In general, I think I've put enough time into this to know roughly what I'm talking about, but I also don't want to come off like I think I'm some fucking basketball super genius. I am just a huge NBA fan who happened to stumble onto somewhat of a platform. And really, if you're watching this video, you're probably a basketball super fan too, who just likes to talk about it. The thing that makes me so annoyed with NBA media personalities is how much they act so high and mighty and like they're fucking geniuses, especially being that a lot of their opinions are not even really their opinions and they're just like factory made in order to stir up controversy. And for them to act like it's like they're just the gospel really bothers me. And I never want to come off that way. I realize sometimes, just not even in YouTube, but in my general life, I have an issue coming off different from how I actually feel. But in this case, I definitely don't think that my opinion is just strongly better than most people's. Sure, some people's, because some people are dumb, but most people's no. I've left this tweet up, and there's people who asked me why, and really in hindsight, I probably should have deleted it, because when it first started getting a couple of people just jokingly calling me out on it, I didn't have as big of a subscriber base, and I think maybe like 15 to 30 people clowned on me for it. And after that, I could have deleted the tweet, and this video wouldn't exist, and a million different Instagram pages wouldn't have posted about it, and there wouldn't have been an article about it. But I left it up because I don't want to seem like I am trying to clean my record as a person who gives takes. That's just not what it is. I'm wrong a lot. It is what it is. I like to think that most of my takes have good backing on them, even when they do end up being wrong. That was not one of them. So to me, it's just a reminder to not think that I'm like above people's opinions or anything like that, because I can be just as fucking stupid as anybody else. So yeah, that's what I feel about that take. It's the reason I haven't deleted the tweet. I clown on myself for it all the time. I'm sure plenty of people are going to clown on me in the replies to this, and that's perfectly fine. Also, I kind of felt this video necessary because a couple of days ago, or like a week ago, I don't remember, I made a video where I was talking about Trae Young, and I said that I have always been on the Trae Young hype train. I should have said ever since he established himself in the NBA, because clearly I was not on the train early. And it is interesting because both Trae and Luka are two of my favorite players in the NBA, especially Luka. And what does annoy me is when people say that I really can't root for them because I said that stupid shit back then. It's not really how it works. And just in general with takes, like, I'm allowed to change my opinion. And even before the draft a little bit, I was like, actually, I think Luka's probably going to be better than I'm giving him credit for. I still thought Trae Young would be horrible, but I don't remember what the exact tweets were, but I know I said, I'm kind of shifting my opinion on Luka. Even then, that shift in opinion wasn't as well informed as it should have been. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on this particular take. It's the nature of this. I make daily NBA videos, and I was consistently putting takes out all the time throughout the past couple of years. There's going to be a lot of them that age poorly, a lot of them that age well, like the Christian Wood thing, the Devontae Graham thing, the Ja Morant would lead the Grizzlies to the playoffs or something close to it thing. There's also a million other examples of bad things. There's just some good ones to help massage my ego a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm kind of rambling at this point. I did something stupid, and that's what I think about it. Again, go check out those podcast episodes if you have not yet. I really enjoy doing this podcast, and since we added Rudy to it, the dynamic is just so much better, and I think the podcast is considerably better. And because we figured out a new way to record them, we're going to be pumping these things out like a bunch, like once a week for sure. And there's 2 new ones out right now, so go check those out. Go check out my NBA video. It's going over the start of the season, what our new team is looking like after a big trade. And shout out to Rudy for editing this video. That is the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.